Today I'm tying a Snowshoe Rabbit Emerger on a Firehole 316 hook. I love this hook. Not only is it strong and barbless, but it also has a 2x wide gap, and I appreciate that for flies that are size 16 and smaller. And I'm going to use some Olive Done 18-aught Semperfli thread. The reason for the small thread is just to make sure that I don't get too crowded when I'm finishing the fly around the eye of the hook. In that case, a smaller diameter thread really makes a difference. For the tail, or trailing shuck, if you prefer, I'm using this brown Z-Lon, and I love it. It's nice and shiny, and you can see it comes in a pretty big cord there. I'm just going to use a small portion of that, maybe about 1/6 of it, and tie that in. And I want to tie it in pretty low on the bend because I want the finished fly to have a little bit of curve to that abdomen. For the abdomen, we're using a lighter shade of olive, and for the thorax, we're using like an olive brown, a little darker shade. And that's just one of the things that makes this pattern so effective, is that contrast. I'm gonna make the abdomen very sparse. Alright, for the wing, I'm using this dun-colored Snowshoe Rabbit, and I'm just gonna clip a little clump out right from this section by the toes. You can see like how pretty even all those hairs are, and it makes a great wing. Okay, now I've got my clump for the wing, and I'm going to make this so that the tips really just come out just over top of the junction of the body and trailing shuck. And you can even work that around the hook a little bit using your fingernail, just to give a little bit more of a shaggy look, almost like you're flaring it, so that when it's on the water it actually has a little bigger fingerprint, or bigger footprint if you prefer a rabbit footprint. Thank you, I'll be here all night. Remember to tip your waitress. So for the abdomen, I'm using just a little bit of that olive brown dubbing. I might create a thorax just slightly larger than the abdomen. Whip finish. And sometimes I wait until the end to trim the tail, just because I have a very bad habit of trimming it too short. And I'm going to leave this a little over 1 hook gap in length. Sometimes I like to wait to see how the proportion of the fly, so that I cut a tail that looks realistic for that size of body. And there you go. There's the Snowshoe Rabbit Emerger. I tie these, mainly 16s, 18s, and smaller. They're a great imitation for a blueing olive or a Baetis emerger. So feel free to tie this as small as your eyes will allow, and go catch some fish. Thanks for watching.